The rain drummed steadily on the deck as I steered my boat out into the open sea, the scent of salt and damp wood filling the air. The ocean was calm, eerily so, the kind of quiet that made you feel like the world had stopped spinning just for a moment. I had done this since I was a kid, fishing with my father, and even now at 35, it was the only thing that truly settled my nerves. Out here, with nothing but the sound of waves and the occasional call of a gull, I could breathe. It took a couple of hours to reach the spot where I'd hooked marlins before, big ones, the kind of fish that made your arms ache and your heart race. I killed the engine, letting the boat drift slightly as I prepared my gear. The waiting game began. An hour passed, then 2. Then, finally, I felt it. A nudge, a slow, deliberate pull at my line. My hands tightened around the rod, my pulse quickening. Whatever was on the other end wasn't fighting like a marlin. There were no sudden jerks, no frantic attempts to escape, just a steady, unnerving pull. I reeled in slowly, cautiously, waiting for the inevitable burst of resistance. When it came, it was unlike anything I had ever felt before. The weight was immense, the struggle more methodical than panicked. My muscles burned as I fought to bring it closer, my mind racing with anticipation and unease. And then, I saw it. A pair of massive, dark eyes staring up from beneath the water. They weren't the dull, glassy eyes of a fish. They were intelligent, aware. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. The creature's face, if you could call it that, was humanoid but wrong. Its skin was smooth, almost metallic, a dull, greyish sheen reflecting the dim morning light. Instead of fins, it had long, undulating appendages, like tentacles, but jointed in places where they shouldn't be. And along its back, partially obscured by the murky water, I saw something gleaming. Metal, machinery, a bionic alien, a nightmare pulled from the depths of the unknown. Then it screamed. The sound was inhuman, high-pitched and piercing, like metal scraping against metal. But worse, it wasn't just noise, it was inside my head, vibrating through my skull like an ice pick being driven straight into my brain. I clamped my hands over my ears, but the pain was unbearable. My vision blurred, my stomach turned, and a cold sweat broke out over my skin. My fingers loosened on the rod, and before I knew it, I had let go. The creature wasted no time. With a final, lingering stare, it slipped beneath the waves, vanishing into the dark depths as if it had never been there at all. I sat there shaking, the silence that followed somehow worse than the scream. My fishing rod was gone, lost to the abyss along with whatever that thing was. I didn't try to cast another line. I didn't even start the engine right away. I just sat there, staring at the water, my mind struggling to process what had just happened. When I finally returned to shore, I docked the boat and walked away without looking back. I never fished again. The ocean can keep its secrets.